Okay guys, I'm going to share real quickly the assembly of the left inboard wing panel. You can see I've got the center sheeting in place right there. It's made up of two individual pieces of balsa that you glue together and then pin to the board. And then you can see here I've got all the ribs laid out across the top for the center panel and the outer panel. And from right to left, you can see the leading edge up top, the R2 ribs, the main spar, and then the trailing edge all the way to the left there. Right here I'm dropping in R1, the very first rib, and I'm going to use the gauge that's made up of two laser cut pieces to set the dihedral angle. I'm also using a straight edge to make sure that the spar, rib number 1, and that center sheeting are all perfectly flush with each other because I want a nice tight center joint. Now I'm just going to take the R2 ribs and drop them into place. They fit beautifully. Red, you did a great job with this. The laser cutting is outstanding. They're not too loose, they're not too tight, they're perfect. They drop right in place and they stay put nice and snug. This kit is just a pleasure to build. Now I'm going to take the final R2 rib and the gauge for my polyhedral, and I'm going to set the angle of that final R2 rib against the outer edge of that main spar. Make sure that that angle's perfect, and you want to maintain that angle when you glue the R2 rib to the spar and the trailing edge and leading edge. So now I'm going back and I'm starting to tack everything in place. And I don't use a lot of glue. I use thin CA. I don't use medium CA. I don't use any accelerator. I just tack everything in place. And when I'm satisfied that everything is nice and secure and everything's tight, I'll remove the panel from the board, and that's when I'll go back and I'll make sure that every single joint is glued perfectly. Now I'm dropping in the center sheeting, and there's a little trimming on the front of the center sheeting before you bring your leading edge in, but follow the manual, okay? Follow the manual. I'm just going over this quickly. Thanks, guys.